I welcome you to Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. I am your government teacher. I'm happy to be with you. Today we are going to look at one of the interesting topics as far as this subject is concerned. And I believe as we go on together, you understand more at a better level than you were.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
We are going to look at this topic under international organizations. Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. In short, OPEC as acronym. Under it, what are we going to achieve at the end of the lesson? Objectives number 1, discuss the origin of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. Objective number 2, we are going to outline the aims and objectives of OPEC. Number 3, we will be able to list the organs of OPEC. And at the end, also, we should be able to discuss organs of OPEC and state their functions. Let's begin this way by looking at the origin of this organization. OPEC was established at a time when it was clear that a lot of countries of the world that had that abundant resources of crude oil were being exploited by those multinational corporations or companies that were buying from them. Therefore, the reaction made for formation of OPEC. 5 countries met: Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Venezuela in Baghdad, Iraq. And they formed OPEC in September 1960 to make sure they fight for the interests of those who are being exploited by the companies who are buying from them the crude oil. Nigeria joined as a member in 1971, and where is the head office of OPEC? It's in Vienna, Austria. Austria is in Europe. I want to put it to you that for the purpose of study, as a student of government, you have to be current. Map of the world, map of Africa, and so on. Make them your friends. So that when we are discussing issues like this, you'll be able to understand better. And in fact, for our adventure, you find some of these in the objective questions, either WAEC or NECO. Directly be able to answer them without any issue or problems. Now let's look at the aims and objectives of the OPEC. Number 1, coordination of oil policies of member states. Every country that has that abundant gift of nature, crude oil, make sure they bring out some policies to the OPEC. It is this organization that will coordinate and harmonize how to go about it. 2, stabilization of oil price in the world market in order to stabilize the income of the member states. When there is need to raise level of supply, OPEC will determine it in order to gain more money. When there is too much supply, which will lead to reduction in prices, it is OPEC that will decide so that there will be stabilization of the income of these oil-producing states. 3, ensuring steady supply of oil to consuming nations. They explore, they go to these countries, they help them to make sure that this gift of nature how do they go about it to have permanent, constant supply to the world market? Number 4, negotiation for member states in exploration of oil. They also negotiate, not just trying to make it steady, the supply. They negotiate how to explore crude oil. Number 5, fixing and allocation of oil production quotas to member countries. Yes, OPEC will need to allocate oil production quotas. What do you mean by quotas? That is, in terms of how many each country should bring. You cannot compare Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, Venezuela with Iraq or Iran, depending on what they want to bring. OPEC will now determine the allocation. We fix the allocation. We fix the quota too, to make sure these countries supply in number that will not be too many in the world market. So as demand comes from these countries of the world that are buying, or multinational corporations or companies that are buying from them, you'll be able to determine. Therefore, the issue of exploiting them will be minimal or will be eliminated. If this is to be achieved, it cannot be done without some organs, offices, bodies of people who will be there to do the work of OPEC in such a way that you'll be able to achieve its objectives. Number 1, we have the conference. The conference is the supreme organ of OPEC. It consists of petroleum ministers from each member state. Petroleum ministers from all the member states, including Nigeria, for example, have representatives in this organ called the conference. It is the supreme organ, the highest organ of the body of OPEC. What are the functions? It meets twice in a year. Yes, we need to mention that. It meets twice in a year, not once. It is the 2 times. It depends on urgency of the matter they want to discuss. And at these 2 times, stable period, constant, twice they discuss the issues that come up. What are the functions of the conference? Number 1, it formulates the organization's policy and determines implementation of the policy. 2, it appoints the Secretary General and other officials. The Secretary General of OPEC will be appointed by the conference, though after checking and the need for the period to change will come, then it is this conference that will appoint the Secretary General. Look at their pedigree, their antecedents and documents and papers, qualifications and others, then decide on how to appoint, and including other high-ranking officials that will work for OPEC. It considers application for membership. Yes. If anywhere oil is discovered, crude oil is discovered at any point in time, and the country wants to be a member, it applies to OPEC. OPEC, there are other countries that are not members of OPEC who may decide to sell their crude oil to any part of the world. But once you are a member, or a country wants to be a member, you apply. It is this organ that will consider and decide on the application. Once this is approved, automatically such a country that has oil become a member. Also, it approves the organization's budget. Yes, every year there is budget. What is budget? What is to be spent? What is expected to come in as income in a year is determined by this organ called the conference. This will be approved to finance their projects. Board of Governors. Board of Governors is another organ made up of representatives from member states. These people serve for 2 years and they meet at least twice a year before the conference meeting. As the conference meeting is coming up, the meeting of Board of Governors will come first. because as part of what they are going to deliberate on, report will come from the Board of Governors. What are the functions of the Board of Governors? It manages the administrative affairs of OPEC. Every administrative aspect is determined at this stage by the Board of Governors. It considers and takes decision on any report submitted by the Secretary General. The Board of Governors will consider and take decision. Once the Secretary General prepares his report in the year, it goes to the Board of Governors for consideration and for decision of the conference to take. Again, it prepares the organization's budget and submits to the conference. The budget, the yearly budget, is prepared by the Board of Governors to be sent before it's approved by the conference. Then it considers statement of accounts and auditor's reports for submission to the conference. As it prepares the budget and submits to the conference, it also prepares statement of accounts, which is the document showing the level of finance in a year, what has come in, what has been spent. Then the auditor's report. The auditor is the one who will check the account of the organization. Once this is done, audited and approved, it will be submitted to the conference. That's another organ that is doing a great work for OPEC. That's on that. We now go to the Secretariat as one of the basic and important organs of OPEC. As the name suggests, the Secretariat is the office, main office that runs the affairs of OPEC in terms of administrative matters. It is located in Vienna, Austria, headed by Secretary General, who is appointed for a time of 3 years, which can be extended depending on decision of the conference and his level of performances. At different times, however, let us understand and know that the following Nigerians have been at the helm of affairs of the Secretariat of OPEC at one time or another. From 1975, we had Emo Feide, who was there for a period of 1 year to 1976. We have had Alhaji Iwan Lukman, who were there 2 times from 1986 to 1988, and again appointed in 1995. And he was the Secretary General till year 2000. We have Edmond Dakoru from January 2006 to December 2006. And in recent times, so to say, the late Mohammed Bakindo of blessed memory ruled or headed the Secretariat from 2016 to 2022. Nigerians are all over the world doing well, and it is something of a good accolade to our people. Functions of the Secretariat, let's look at it one after the other. This organ is responsible for the administration and management of OPEC's economic, legal, and technical matters. It looks at the administration and management of economic, legal, and technical matters, not just to keep files or to keep documents. Issues on legal and technical matters go to the Secretariat for record and for checking to take decisions on them. It handles the organization's information and correspondences. You and I know that this is a very important thing that the organ does as its functions and responsibilities. Again, we have the current OPEC Secretary General from Kuwait, Aizam Agais. He's a Kuwaiti diplomat who is there now. Until when another person comes, this is the man at the helm of affairs.
Acing your WAEC and NECO examinations has been made easy by the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education with the Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO Candidates television program. Join seasoned teachers as they take you through these core subjects. targeting the exact syllabus of WAEC and NECO. Watch Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates through these social media platforms to access more educational content and give their feedback. Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Pass your examinations with flying colors.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
Before we go, today I believe you have learned something concerning Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. In case you come across any of these questions that we are going to answer together now, you should be able to answer them without any problem. Number one says, A, OPEC is an acronym for dash. 1B, give reason for formation of OPEC. 1C, 5 founding nations of OPEC are. Number 2, state 2 functions of the secretariats of OPEC. This should not be a problem if you have listened and given me the attention as we have been talking since morning, and the solutions are not far-fetched. Number 1, which asks you to write the full meaning of OPEC from the acronym. O for organization, P for petroleum, E for exporting, C for countries. It gives you a full mark. Give reason for formation of OPEC. OPEC was formed as a reaction to exploitation of oil-producing nations by multinational companies. If you write this, then you get your full mark. 5 founding nations of OPEC are, as we have learned, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Venezuela. State 2 functions of the Secretariat of OPEC. It is responsible for administration and management of OPEC's economic, legal, and technical matters. The second function, it handles the organization's information and correspondences. You can as well get more points from textbooks or any other, resources points, textbooks, Google, or wherever that give you more points in your examination, as you prepare for your examination. This is where we are going to end it as far as this topic is concerned. If you have learned 1 or 2 things, or you may have a question to ask, comments to make, or suggestions to send to us, feel free to pass it across to us on any of our social media handles as displayed on the screen. I want to thank you for being with me today. Till when we meet again, thank you, God bless, take care and be safe.
Thank you.